After 5 years, Nike finally caught them. Yo, what's up, YouTube? 5 years, Nike finally caught them. Cool Kicks. Obviously, everyone that's into sneakers knows about Cool Kicks. They buy shoes and they resell them for a freaking crazy price, because you know how people are selling shoes. Like, they'd be buying a shoe for like 80 bucks and then all of a sudden it's like 160 in the shelves. So it's like, damn, do I really want to spend 160 on a shoe? But yeah, you know, scammers, basically scammers. But they got caught a while back. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. I think they were selling fakes, but let's just check it out.
For almost a year, something strange was happening inside the sneaker world. Federal agents were showing up everywhere.
12 people face federal charges now, accused of stealing more than $2 million in Nike products from the company's North American Logistics Center right here in Memphis.
Federal prosecutors say this went on for at least 4 years, totaling nearly $2 million.
It was the other co-owner of Cool Kicks that was taken into custody by LAPD,
including 40-year-old Keith Cannon, who owned Valid Kicks.
Project Blitz, Cool Kicks, warehouses filled with thousands of sneakers, search warrants, evidence boxes, and phones being held outside storefronts trying to figure out what was happening.
So
but nobody seemed to know the answer.
The feds really got them
about counterfeit sneakers, money laundering, tax fraud, stuff like that. But law enforcement and the government stayed completely silent. No interviews, no detailed press.
That's another thing, bro. I'm telling you, when this happened, no one knew. Like, when I saw this, okay, like I said, I'm not a sneakerhead. I don't know the names of the sneakers, but I could tell you, like, yo, that's a Jordan 4, that's a Jordan 1, that's a Jordan 3, those are Air Maxes, those are Air Forces. You know, I have common ball knowledge, but I'm not the type of guys like, yo, those are the Royal Blues, the Black Cats, the Hellcats. Like, I don't know none of that, you know what I mean? I just know, like, yo, that's the style of shoe. But when I saw this in my feed, I'm like, yo, like, I used to watch these guys. Like, these guys used to have, like, celebrities and like YouTubers, and they would like shop and talk, and it'd be cool, and like, and it would just seem like a cool thing, you know, like watching like the videos. And yeah, I was like shocked, and then all of a sudden it kind of died down. No one really knew like the full details.
This is just a series of raids that at the time seemed to be a little bit unrelated. That's how it looked from the outside looking in. While the sneaker community was trying to guess what happened, federal investigators,
I wonder what happened. Is this guy in jail?
A case that had been going for years. And according to a federal indictment that just got released this month, I think we have answers to everything we need to know.
This is gonna be interesting.
The story didn't begin with Cool Kicks or Project Blitz or even California. It all began in a warehouse that was nearly 2,000 miles away. Nike's North American Logistics Center that was located in Memphis, Tennessee. Every single day, this building moves thousands of Nike products across the United States. If you've ever bought a pair of Jordans or Nike Dunks or anything of that nature, there's a good chance that it goes through this warehouse first. This is essentially the beating heart of Nike's entire heart of Nike. Good chance that it goes.
Hand on the Bible, no, don't be lying. Everyone be honest. If you were in this guy's position right here, let's just say you're in this guy's position, you're working, and obviously you're shipping the shoes, and you see the new Travis Scott's, would y'all low-key like sneak him in? Like, I'm like, and everything I love, bro, I'm being honest. If I was in his position, if it's Travis Scott's, bro, I'm taking 3, 4, 5, even like up to like 10 pairs, bro. I'm trying to, like, bro, they resell. I'll keep one for myself, and then I'll have a backup one, and then the other 8 I'll just sell. But dude, there's no way these guys right here don't be stealing shoes.
Products arrive in this warehouse from
big
around the world. They get sorted, packed, labeled, loaded into trucks, and then shipped to retailers across the country, like Foot Locker or Champs or wherever you buy your shoes from. And on paper, it's one of the most efficient logistics systems in the entire world. Every package has a barcode, every carton has a destination, and every movement is seemingly tracked. And every shipment has one small detail that tells the entire system where to go, and that's a shipping label. And according to federal prosecutors, that tiny piece of paper would allegedly become the key to one of the biggest sneaker theft conspiracies.
Oh, I figure it out. Detective Saul Alvarez III figure it out. These guys were telling the workers, hey, ship this to our. So they were getting free kicks and selling them. That's what happened, bro. That label, all the shoes that they were getting were not like supposed to go to Cool Kicks. They were supposed to go ship somewhere else. But they knew the ins and out of the game, and they told the workers, hey, yo, ship this, boom, boom, boom.
In recent history. And the more investigators looked into this case, the more they realized that it wasn't just a traditional cargo theft. Nobody was cutting locks or hijacking the trucks or breaking into the warehouse in the middle of the night. The operation allegedly relied on something a lot more simple, and that was the shipping process itself. Imagine you go online and order a pair of Jordans from Nike or the website. The order gets processed, Nike packs the shipment, and a shipping label is printed. And that label tells UPS exactly where the package belongs, as long as the label is correct. Now imagine somebody quietly replaces that label before the package ever leaves the building. The box is still scanned, and it still gets loaded into the truck, and UPS delivers it. But the only difference is the destination. And according to the indictment, this is what investigators believe exactly happened. So whenever there's a hype Jordan release, let's just say, for example, the Jordan 4 brick by bricks, somebody in the warehouse would locate what boxes were filled with these sneakers that were going to be shipped out to Foot Locker or Champs or wherever. And when loading these up onto the UPS trucks to be shipped out to these stores, somebody would slap a label over the top of the one that was already on there. And this new UPS label would then ship it to a different location that wasn't the intended store. And this was addresses that investigators say had already been chosen by members of this conspiracy. And from that point on, the package would follow the new label. But changing the label...
So wait, you're telling me, bro, ain't no way, bro. This is okay, I'm getting kind of pissed now. You're telling me as a person, I bought some kicks and they're supposed to arrive on Friday, but all of a sudden Friday comes along and they're not here, and then Cool Kicks or the other resellers, like my shoes went directly to them. So basically I paid money and I didn't get the shoe. Bro, so a lot of y'all got scammed.
Label was only half the job. And that's because a shipping label sitting on somebody's desk in Los Angeles can't move a single package inside the warehouse in Memphis. So somebody had to sneak those labels inside. And according to federal prosecutors, this is where it became an inside job at the Nike warehouse.
Damn.
And court documents allege that one of these organizers was Roy Harvey Jr. And he is seen to be one of the masterminds behind this
Roy Harvey Jr.
And like a year ago when Project Blitz got raided, it was because of Roy Harvey Jr. He had been seen delivering or using some of these packages around the Project Blitz warehouse, and that's what got him raided. But according to this indictment, investigators allege that he created these shipping labels and arranged the delivery locations and coordinated where those redirected shipments would ultimately end up. Because Harvey wasn't a Nike employee and he couldn't just walk into the warehouse. According to the prosecutors, somebody else on the inside was handling how the labels got on the packages. And the indictment identifies a man named Michael Perkins. He was a floor manager inside Nike's Memphis Logistics Center. And Perkins allegedly would smuggle these shipping labels inside of the Nike warehouse where he would give them to other Nike employees. And prosecutors allege that these employees would place the labels onto specific cartons before they entered Nike's normal shipping process. And like I previously said, nothing on these packages looked abnormal. The packages continued out of the warehouse just like they would on any other day. And that's what made this operation so hard to detect.
Sketchy, bro. You telling that sounds like some mafia, like scammer, like cartel type of thing. Like they kind of they're like, it's right under your nose. You know what I mean? Like it's there, it's happening, but only a few people know what's going on. It's like an inside job. Like, yo, boom, boom, boom.
Just once or twice. Courts allege that between 2022 and 2024, 1,860 fraudulent shipping labels tied to Roy Harvey Jr. was operated successfully through this whole process. And just to mention, this isn't 1,800 pairs. This is 1,860 boxes that are filled with multiple. Whenever a shoe comes out, sometimes a sneaker reseller will have an entire full-size run. They'll have hundreds or 200, 300 pairs of a shoe that's like just came out. Or also in the sneaker world, there's like early pairs. You'll see people have...
I've always noticed some really sketchy stuff. I'm like, damn, like Travis Scott just dropped these shoes for everyone to get, and all of a sudden Cool Kicks has like 500 pairs. All of a sudden so-and-so has 1,000 pairs in its store. I'm like, yo, how did these guys like... And like for me being a sneaker guy, I'm like, oh, this is normal. These guys always get the drops first, and you know, like the company sent, but it's like, damn, like these guys really were scamming the whole time. Like no wonder when I would see the videos, I'm like, damn, how the hell this guy has 500 pairs of Travis Scott, or this guy has 200 unreleased pairs, you know, like it was kind of like weird, like, yo, what?
Shoes before they come out, like months before
Yeah.
they come out. But what happened after the shoes left Memphis was almost a little more surprising. And investigators didn't follow the shipping labels, they followed the shoes. And that's where this story takes kind of an unexpected turn. And you have to remember, all of this is happening in private. This was before they decided to raid anybody or make any sort of like public thing about this. So by this point, investigators believed that they understood how the shoes were leaving the warehouse. But that only answered half of the mystery, because stolen inventory doesn't just disappear. Somebody has to receive it, somebody has to pay for it, and eventually somebody has to sell it. So investigators started following these sneakers and shipments. Now, according to these court documents and stuff, it doesn't really say how they were able to identify this. Some people say that they put trackers like inside the shoes or inside the boxes. Some people said that they like went over their inventory lists, or I don't know how they did it. I wish I had this answer because that'd probably make this video a little bit more interesting, but I don't know how they tracked down these shoes from the Memphis warehouse to what I'm about to say. So instead of these boxes of sneakers showing up at retailers like Champs, Foot Locker, maybe a Nike store, these boxes of hundreds of pairs of Jordans would go into an undisclosed location, and they would essentially just be dropped off by UPS. So after these shoes were being unpacked, they were being sold at sneaker conventions, sneaker stores, and other sneaker websites. And some of these pairs were just placed into a warehouse or the backs of stores to be sold in eventually. And like I said previously, if you have some of these shoes that don't release for 4 months and you have like 100 or 200 pairs, that looks really suspicious. So in some cases,
yes,
they
that's
would
what
just
I'm
keep
saying.
these shoes until like a week or two after they released and they were hot and everybody wanted them, and then they'd begin like flipping them. So I'm assuming that's where some of these shoes would end up in like warehouses and stuff. But investigators—
Okay, so that's where they will go. They'll go to like an undisclosed area, like a warehouse. They will have them there located. And obviously, bro, they got the Travis Scott 3 months in advance. And obviously, they can't be like, yo, I got 200 Travis Scott. It's going to be like, what the fuck? How the hell you get 200 Travis Scott? So they had them in a garage, a warehouse. And then once the release came out, it's kind of like, okay, now we got them. Now we could sell them. Yeah, man, they had the system down pretty good, like the Taliban, bro.
started looking into resale businesses. And the further they followed these shipments, the more these certain names kept popping up. One of them being Chicago Emporium, which is a large Chicago resale business. Another one being Whorehead Investments. And then there was one name that stood out above all the others.
Cool Kicks.
That name was Cool Kicks. And if you've been around—
Damn, bro, I told you, bro, Cool Kicks. If you know Cool Kicks, you know, you watch their videos, bro. If you tap into the culture, you know, like they would drop fire videos. You got celebrities and you got YouTubers and streamers, and they'll come and they'll be talking about shoes, blah, blah, boom, 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 boom. It was cool. It was cool. Like, you know, I was a fan and I liked watching their videos.
sneaker culture for like the past decade, you know who Cool Kicks is. Cool Kicks wasn't a small reseller operating out of like a storage unit. It was one of the biggest sneaker stores in America. NBA players, rappers, celebrities, all these people bought shoes from there in Los Angeles. And their videos reached millions of people on the daily. And for a lot of sneakerheads, Cool Kicks represented the top of the resale world. They were definitely one of the most popular sneaker resale stores and YouTube channels in this entire business. So a lot of people think that it's just a deal that owns it, the guy that's mainly on the face of the channel. But there's another man named Bareket or Bareket.
Oh, yo, when it said, and there was another man, dude, I thought he was going to talk about Hezbollah, bro. I thought Hezbollah was the man under the whole scam, bro. The mafia boss behind the scenes. Man, he does look like a mafia G, I'm not gonna lie. Look at him, bro. He's bust down with a freaking rollie that's like literally probably worth more than the house that I'm staying at, more than my grandma's house. He's dripped out in like some freaking Gucci. Look at this. Settle. He's a killer. He got that. He don't be smiling. I thought he was gonna say Hezbollah was the man behind the whole scam.
Named Bareket or Bareket Abraham, and he also goes by BK. But in these legal documents, he is accused of playing a role in the early stages of this conspiracy.
Damn.
The prosecutors allege that between July 2021 and May 2022, Roy Harvey, which is the mastermind of this, he received 149 shipping labels that were associated with the Cool Kick store. And that allegation matters because those labels were allegedly allegedly used before Harvey began creating labels through his own company, which was RHJ Global, which in other words, prosecutors believe that this whole scheme was evolving over time. It didn't begin as like this huge, massive like operation. It started with just like a few people. And when the money entered the picture, things get more serious. But according to the indictment, between April and November 2023, Cool Kicks allegedly sent approximately $127,000 to a man named Keith Cannon, who was also mentioned in these documents for this whole scheme. On top of that, they had allegedly sent another $88,275 to Roy Harvey Jr., who was the mastermind. But before we jump to conclusions, those numbers don't prove any guilt. Some people say that Cool Kicks was just buying shoes from this person and they didn't know that they were stolen from Nike. And I'll leave it up to you guys and your own
that could be a
research to
possibility,
figure that
bro.
out. But when reading the legal,
let's be honest, that could be a possibility. What if Cool Kicks didn't know? They're just like, yo, we're gonna buy kicks off this dude. But honestly, like, I don't want to bash anyone's name. Cool Kicks, man, they had to know. Like, honestly, it's kind of, they had to know at least what they were getting themselves into. Like, how the hell do we have these shoes early than everyone? Is just, yeah, come on, it's pretty obvious that they kind of knew.
documents, there was some more evidence that kind of stood out. In September 2022, Roy Harvey allegedly asked the co-owner of Cool Kicks to create fake invoices. And the prosecutors alleged that these invoices would make it appear that these shipments were legitimate. And this would allow these packages that may have gotten held up in UPS to then be released. So on the off chance, if these sneakers are being transported from the Nike facility to these undisclosed locations, if or when these packages got held up, you would have to provide something that says that you bought these shoes before they would be released. And that's where these fake invoices would come about. Basically saying like, hey, I paid Roy Lee, this guy, X amount of money, like he's delivering these shoes to me because I bought them. But in reality, they were all coming from the Nike warehouse illegally and stolen. But this is just a conspiracy. This is not proven fact. I'm just simply telling the story how it is. Also, according to the indictment, Chicago Emporium was allegedly purchasing large quantities of shoes connected to this operation as well. Federal prosecutors alleged that Joel DeLuna, I think is the owner of Chicago Emporium, he negotiated with Harvey to receive unreleased Nike products. Meanwhile, another Los Angeles retailer, Whorehead Investments, he allegedly also sent nearly $700,000 in wire transfers connecting to this government's investigation. So everybody that I just named were resellers that were allegedly sending money to Roy Harvey to get these shoes so that they could flip them themselves or sell them in their store. And piece by piece, shipment by shipment, and payment by payment, what first looked like a warehouse theft was beginning to look like something that was much, much larger. The prosecutors believe that they had just uncovered an alleged distribution network stretching from the floors of Nike's warehouse in Memphis all the way to some of the biggest sneaker resale businesses in the world. But if these investigators spent years following these shipments and following the labels and following the money, what finally caused this whole operation to fall apart? Well, for years, according to the federal investigations, the operation kept working. Shipments continued to leave Memphis, labels continued to change destinations, and businesses continued buying inventory. And remember, all of this was done in secrecy. They were spending a while trying to figure this out and piece this together before they began just raiding and arresting everybody. But from the outside, nothing looked different. Nike was still shipping shoes, UPS was still delivering them, and the resale market was still growing. And when it comes to a resale store, when customers walk in and buy a pair of shoes,
is this, who's the girl that played Wolf of Wall Street? Oh, dude, she's so bad. The blonde chick. Suicide Squad. What's her name? It's not Maddie. What's her name? Is that her? That has to be her, right?
they don't know where they came from before the store. Like I said, these are resale stores. They buy them from people and resell them because they're hype shoes. So the customer has no idea of knowing where these were previously before the resale store. And investigators were quietly piecing together things that didn't seem related at first. A shipping label here, a payment there, phone records, wire transfers, delivery addresses.
So how did they catch them though?
None of those told the full story. But together, the prosecutors were able to form like a pattern. And then one moment changed everything.
Let's see the
In
juicy.
January of 2024, Roy Harvey was arrested in Los Angeles.
For
And this was
what?
when the popular sneaker resale warehouse and platform Project Blitz got raided. And for those who don't know, Project Blitz, they're huge. They have a YouTube channel and they've even been on like Pawn Stars. They make videos pretty much showing off some of the rarest sneakers that you can possibly buy in the world. But supposedly, after they gathered this evidence, they arrested him with 28 cartons of stolen Nike products that were connected to this whole conspiracy. And that is why Project Blitz got raided, because somehow, some way, he was delivering shoes to Project Blitz. But the Project Blitz story is an entire video. This was one of the first moments that investigators could say that they could physically connect redirected shipments to somebody in this operation. And that was Roy Harvey. But this arrest didn't stop the investigation. They went through Harvey's phone, his financial records, and they found connections that led to new leads. Investigators weren't just looking backwards anymore, they were starting to connect the pieces on this whole map. After the mastermind of this whole thing got put away in jail, now the business is still going. That means somebody's still doing this and people are still buying this from Nike. And that's when they realized this whole operation wasn't just centered around one person, it was an entire team.
Told you, bro. This shit like the real life cartel. Like, I'm not even trying to, like, I'm just keeping it a bug. It's like the cartel. Like, one person goes down, but the operation keeps on going, bro. They know the scam. They know the system. Yo, they have everything planned out to the very top. Like, yo, if this guy gets freaking caught, boom, 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 you're up in the ranks. You do this. Okay, this is your what you do, boom, boom, boom. This is what you do over here. Yo, like it's an operation, bro. It's like the cartel. It's literally the sneaker cartel.
It was 12 people to be exact. And so the investigators, they kept going. They kept reviewing financial records, they kept interviewing witnesses, and the case kept expanding. And this was when everybody started to get raided. Like I said before, the Project Blitz store got raided, and then the Cool Kick store also got raided while on live stream. This became—
Oh, I forgot they did. I saw this clip. Dude, the funny thing is, look at this guy's face. I forgot his name. Obviously, he works for Cool Kicks. He's like really known and whatever. But
store got raided.
He's like smiling, like it's happening. Oh my god, we're getting caught. Like he knew already what they were doing, and like he wasn't surprised. Like he's like, oh shit, they found us.
And then the Cool Kick store also got raided.
Look at it. Okay, I can't be laughing, bro. I kind of feel bad. I don't feel bad, bro. Y'all scammed the whole system. No wonder why the freaking sneaker shoes were like almost like $200, like what they were supposed to be worth. You guys had all the freaking shoes. You guys could move the market. I don't really feel bad, like, but it is pretty funny. Look at this guy's face though.
While on live stream, this became like a huge viral
He's
moment.
like
Like they were selling shoes on a live, the police busted in, and then there's all these clips of them getting arrested. Everybody thought this was because they were selling counterfeit shoes, and that's not at all the case. As well as there was clips online that showed a house that got raided that was completely full from like top to bottom with Nike shoes. And on top of all this, the Chicago warehouse that was Chicago Emporium also got raided. When all of this was happening, nobody really knew why. Like I said, everybody speculated counterfeit shoes, and everybody was slandering Cool Kicks, saying that they sold like fake shoes, and that's not true.
Yeah, that's what I thought at
Project
first.
Blitz, they got bashed everywhere for this, but in reality, they probably just bought a few pairs of shoes that were stolen that they didn't know about. But regardless, all these business reputations got cooked. But in July of this year, a federal grand jury returned a sweeping indictment charging 12 people with offenses including conspiracy, interstate transportation of stolen property, and wire fraud. And of these 12 names that were in this were Roy Harvey Jr., BK from Cool Kicks, the Chicago Emporium guy, Perkins. You guys can look at the list yourself. But for the sneaker community, this was the first time that these allegations were made public. And suddenly, all those raids, all those rumors, and all those unanswered questions, they finally had context just this month. But this story isn't just about Cool Kicks or one warehouse. It's about something much bigger. It's about how an industry built on hype and scarcity created one of the most
Freddy
perfect
Kruegers are
environments
crazy.
for an operation.
See, I know these shoes. Look at this. That's a beautiful shoe. Like that is worth what, a fucking car? Like that's like 25 G's, I think, or something like that. Like bro, people really be buying. I mean, if you got the money, you could do it, but like, you know, it's just like, damn, like, would you rather get a car or a freaking pair of shoes wearing your feet? I mean, if you're balling with the money, you do it. Me personally, I'm good with my Birkenstocks and my honestly my New York Timbs. My New York Timbs and Birkenstocks, I'm good. That's right.
Perfect environments for an operation like this to exist for years. But like I said, everything in this video is just alleged, and everybody in this case is innocent until proven guilty.
Yep, that's
I'm
facts.
simply just stating what was in these documents. I'll pop it up on the screen right here. Cool Kicks actually made a statement about this and their co-owner and what's going on with them. I'll let you guys read that on your own. But in my opinion, the most surprising part about all this isn't the whole like illegal scheme. It's about what happens to the sneakers. You see, these $2 million worth of shoes, thousands of pairs that were stolen, where did they go? Well, the answer is they went into the resale market. These are authentic Nike shoes, and they were sold to customers that had no idea where they came from. You see, like a stolen car, for example, the car has like a VIN number on it, and so if you get caught with the car, you get arrested, it's whatever. With sneakers, there is almost no way to identify the history or where the shoes came from, other than just like a receipt or like a word of mouth type of thing. But platforms like StockX, Go, eBay, and certain resale stores were all selling shoes that were stolen from Nike, and they didn't know it, as well as all the stores that were not involved in this scheme that bought the shoes just because they wanted to flip them. Like, for example, if I had 30 pairs of these shoes that were stolen from Nike and I sold them to somebody else and they sold them to somebody else, and like, you get what I'm saying? It's hard to track all these down. So there was plenty of people in this whole scheme that were selling shoes that were stolen that they didn't even know it. And that's what makes this case so much different. It wasn't counterfeit fake shoes. It was real authentic Nike products that were just being circulated everywhere in the United States. And the sneaker community spent months trying to figure out why all these people got raided, and it seems like now we finally have some answers. And that's for you to decide. Once again, I'm just telling the story. I'm not taking sides with anybody. But the answer to this entire mystery was sitting on the box the entire time from the very beginning, and it was just a shipping label. And also one of the most elaborate schemes I think I've ever heard in sneaker history.
That was the video. Very interesting video. I always like when they got raided and everything. When I saw that, I'm like, damn, like what really happened? Like I thought like they were just selling fake kicks, and I'm not really a sneakerhead, so I didn't do my research or anything like that. Just like whatever. Like I don't really be buying shoes anyways. You know, like I only wear my Birkenstocks. I have a lot of shoes, but I don't be wearing like expensive ass Jordans. Like I never owned a pair of Jordans. Like I'm not gonna spend $300 on a pair of kicks that I'm gonna beat for a year and then like throw them away, you know. And then like honestly, shoes nowadays are just kind of outdated. Like they're just like sneakers. Like it's not fire. It's not cool to like 26. Not 2016. Like yeah, 2016 and like COVID. Like I feel like when I was younger, it was more like yo, like these sneakers are fire. You know, like I wish I could get them. I didn't have the money at the time, but now it's just like bro, whatever. Fuck it. Just give me my Birkenstocks. I'm going. Give me my flip-flops. I'm just gonna go on to the store and get some groceries and come back home. Hope y'all liked the video. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.